If a team that is competing for a championship suffers a quarterback injury, and we're not crazy about their backup situation, Tom Brady essentially said in that situation, I'm open for business.
It's amazing.
Brock Purdy, you better work on your conditioning.
That's the guy.
Hey, if Dak gets hurt this season,
he better not for his sake.
Do we know whatever happened to the ownership stake in the Raiders? Because I kind of
I don't think that was ever finalized.
Did it ever finalize?
Because
if it got finalized, it would be more complicated because he would have to divest.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones is all in at his age. They start 2-3 and Dak gets hurt. It's Belichick and Brady who are going to be coaching and quarterbacking your Dallas Cowboys 5 games into the season.
Or maybe the 49ers.
McLovin actually had a take on Bill Belichick's media career that I hadn't really considered. I know that this very busy schedule of his is really just him angling for his next job, a public perception. Yeah. And McLovin had very inspired takes in that. He was like, well, this is a little strange that a dude that was so not media friendly just gets welcomed in with open arms, just be the guy. But can we trust you with football analysis? What's your agenda? Are you actually going to be critical? Are you only going to be critical of the jobs that you want? How is this going to work?
I could trust Belichick. I mean, we've been trusting John Fox for years. The reason we're so excited is a coach with this resume is never available to broadcast. It was Parcells probably was the last one.
No, but there has never been in the history of coaching, not Jimmy Johnson, not anybody. There's never been somebody who gets all the broadcasting jobs and gets to lord over with giant voice your every Sunday because he's in so many places, and anyone he criticizes is going to get aggregated and feed the media machine on a job that you saw how J.J. Redick used it. You could just dump a media career. No, I want to go do this. You kidding me? Like Bill
J.J. Redick was very critical often. He didn't really pull punches. Do we think a dude that wasn't media friendly at all will give us what we're hoping for? Because Omaha's tapped into this. It's why I'm super excited to have Tom Brady's live thoughts as a game is happening, because I've never had someone that great tell me what's happening. I've never had a coach this great weigh in week to week with 5 weekly appearances. Are you going to give me what I want, which is, honesty?
Okay, but let's parse this for a second, Stugotz, because we around here have been talking for a long time about what comparatively to who Belichick and Brady are, all of the people who are dominating the media space, J.J. Redick, Pat McAfee, whoever's coming in here, all the smoke, all of the people who coming in here, none of them have the pedigree that Manning has in the football space and now content space.
Right.
Brady has, because Manning's over here just making quarterbacks and receivers for Netflix. Like Manning is being paid, God knows, like $700 million over 9 years for whatever he's going to make. And Belichick and Brady want in that game. Like they want to be the ones who are the power brokers of not necessarily making all of the content, but Belichick is going to have his voice remain in the game, even though no one would give him the power to run a franchise. He's going to remain relevant this season with whatever he's doing with media work that isn't to lose at this game he's playing, where he is going to control power and narrative through the media space to be able to see if he can get one of these good positions, because he's not going to end his career the way you think. He's just going to wander away to do media the rest of his life.
I mean, he's 14 wins away from becoming the all-time winningest coach in the history of the NFL.
This is all. Look, man, these people are giant economies.
Right,
they're not small economies.
Well, and maybe now that the Bank of Japan raised interest rates.
Yeah.
But
it's all collapsing.
Belichick's not doing what Brady and Manning are
doing.
No,
Brady's all in. Belichick is renting.
He's doing what Herm Edwards did.
Yes.
No, what these guys are all trying to do
Arizona State
is control.
Could you imagine Bill Belichick putting on one of those jerseys?
They're trying to control money and power. Like they're
I think you're dead on with Belichick. He's trying to keep himself in the game, control the narrative, and stay relevant until he gets a job.
But if we're calling it out, do you think that the consumer at large is going to meet Belichick's media appearances as with any sort of skepticism, with any sort of wondering what is your agenda here? Because it should be part of it. Because by all accounts, he tried to get hired this offseason. Really wants to get this record, really wants to keep coaching. But it's none of this stuff is going to be met with skepticism.
My point is, even if it is, it doesn't matter. Noise around Belichick, whether it's Deflategate or not, like anything around Belichick in terms of noise that keeps his name every week with us talking about it. The idea that the Giants have arrived at the media games, Stugotz, and the amount of work Belichick's taking on, like the amount he's taking on, he's going to be everywhere.
I would say, though, that if you're aware of what his agenda is, that doesn't mean it's going to be less entertaining. In many respects, it could actually be more entertaining if you think that he has an agenda. I'll take a recent experience. Jesse Marsh was covering U.S. men's national team soccer games. He wanted Greg Berhalter's job. Everybody knew they didn't like each other, and it made for really captivating content because you knew come halftime, if they were level at 0 with Jamaica, Jesse Marsh was going to take a big steamy all over Greg Berhalter's performance. And he did, and it was great.
So you'll be watching on a weekly basis to see who Belichick is unfairly criticizing because that's the job he wants.
Or fairly.
I'm coming out on the other end of this.
No, it has to be unfairly for you to have
as long as we can all acknowledge, because he's lived a pretty charmed existence in the media space because everyone's just excited to have him here, wondering how this is going to work out. But if we're all acknowledging that there is a bias and he's going to be going for certain jobs that he likes, I'm in on this.
Be great if the Cowboys are 3-0 and he's like, McCarthy. And they should have won that game by 40.
You think he's going to go after coaches? I feel like he's going to do that coaching fraternity stuff where he doesn't really take shots at any of the coaches.
Well, we're going to be curious to find out. The part that I find interesting about the economy of this, Stugotz, because I'm listening the other day at 3:00 in the afternoon, and Rich Gannon is doing a show on satellite radio because football breeds just a giant economy of stuff where Charlie Weiss is over here doing something because you can get these guys paid for anything. The idea that we're headed into a football season that can feel like pro wrestling because it doesn't matter what the content is as long as you're supplying it. Monday ratings are giant everywhere. What did Belichick say? What did Brady say? The Patriots are going to dominate football while not being in it. Like they're going to be able to control everything that's being spoken about because they don't have to go to satellite radio where Rich Gannon is. They get all the best jobs and all the best platforms. And Brady's coming in. I'll give you 3 hours on Sunday. I'll give you a guest hit here and there, and you're going to pay me $375 million to do it.
Can't believe we're at that part of the timeline. When I was growing up and all these old Steelers had TV jobs, I was wondering, like, what did they do? And then in the 90s, Jimmy, Michael Irvin, Aikman, they started getting all theirs. We're at that part of the Patriots story now, where they're getting the job.
But for now.
But
until they both come back and win a Super Bowl together.
With the Cowboys.
With the Cowboys.
With the Cowboys, yes. Bringing Jerry Jones into the mix.
All in.
It is all professional wrestling now, though. Like they can change. They've all realized what the media can do for them after not having a relationship. These two guys, after not having much of a relationship for 20 years with the media, where they showed us anything.
They don't have to join the media anymore. They create the media. They are the media. The Kelceys are their own media, their own entity. They control whatever it is, messaging that they want to get out there. It's in their control.
Yeah, but the part that's ingenious about this, though, is that you know how fascinated we are with the gossip, drama, and transaction. You've got a coach lording over the proceedings who couldn't get a job, who's 14 victories from being the winningest coach of all time. There's no way that he sits out the rest of his career. He's going to be looking for a prime spot. And on top of that, you have the absurdity of a 45-year-old quarterback every time he talks to Jim Gray saying, I'm never going to say never. And it's like, what? So Brady's going to feel the itch.
It's a spike every
11
time he says
games
it.
into the season, he's going to say, I don't know, somebody's
Jared
seven.
Goff went down. Wait
somebody's
a second.
7-4, and they're close, and I can just get in there and play 7 games.
Can Brock Purdy throw a slant if he's looking over his own shoulder?
That's going to be hanging over the whole season.
You know Brady's like really regretting that one because the Niners made overtures. Like, damn, I could have done it against Mahomes again. Yeah. I bet you he wishes he had that one back.
Still has it.
Well, he could get it back.
He's
Like,
throwing
yeah,
flashes.
here I am
Still
downing
out
him
there,
out like, oh, you missed
still
your window,
still
Tom.
One hit away.
Your window's, for all I know, 5 years more from now.
It's going to happen. It's going to be Brady and Belichick in Dallas, and their season's going to be ended by one of those kickers that I wouldn't put in the outhouse behind the Hall of Fame.